What's up, YouTube? Today we are going to be working on a 2015 Road King, changing out the rear tire today. So in this video I'll be showing you how to remove and install the rear wheel. Alright, customer waited a little while to do this one. It's pretty bold. So let's get started. Today I'm going to try to do my head cam. I got one of those things so you can kind of see point of view type thing, and let me know how you like it, and let's get started. Alright. What else do I need today? I need this, because that goes with that. Doing the back tire today, so first things first, take the saddlebags off. He's got an electrical deal on here. Hopefully it's got a quick disconnect. There's a connection. Okay. Now most people don't have that on their bike, so don't have to worry about that too much. And then on the right side, it's a good idea to take the side cover off. Fancy on this one. Doesn't look like it. Alright. I've already got the bike supported. So first things first, let's take our flathead. Kind of twist, pop your E-clip on, take a, what is this, 8mm Allen, loosen up your two screws. Well, I mean, you can take them off right now, but I like to switch over to my electric ratchet. Zip them right off. Ta-da. And then set that aside. That's what I forgot. My baggie, 119. Now the way I do it, the way I'm going to show you how to do it is you won't have to remove your exhaust. Now on the other side you'll have to loosen it, but I'll show you that. Loosen up 19mm or 3/4. Remove this, kind of spin it out the way. Let's go to the other side. Move this one as well. Ooh, there we go. Also, try to have to where your tire's just touching the ground or the floor. Maybe a little pressure on it. Don't have it hanging, because you don't want, when it gets down to that last thread, it might rip it out or something like that. Okay. So now your swing arm's able to move up and down without worrying about the shocks getting in the way. Back to the other side. Let's ease her down, and then take your 36mm socket, crack her loose. Now if your spacer doesn't want to come out, the rubber mallet, get a couple taps. There you go. Now, what I like to use is a Crown Royal bag. Take them. Now, don't just lift it straight off. You'll hit your rim. Kind of twist it. Open the pads up, and then kind of roll it out. Excuse me. Slide it in a bag or something like that, or put a rag down or something. You know, scratch up your nice chrome and paint. I get that out of the way. Finish tapping this out flush. That should be good. Now, doing this for a while, I can kind of lift that up just a little bit. Now, on the other side, we need, there it is, 1/2-inch socket. Loosen up your muffler hangers. And what you do is kind of gently push this one, push it down out of the way. Now if yours doesn't go down all the way, I'd suggest putting a rag right here, kind of holding it down as you do it. You'll figure it out. But then you should be able to slide the axle. Now I'm going to hit right here. What I usually do is, instead of jacking it up, just lift the bike up by the bar, slide it out. Now before you get this axle all the way out, kind of get your hand, hold the swing arm up so it doesn't drop on you. Sometimes they'll drop. There you go. Now, wheel forward, take that off, take out your spacer. Let's go to the other side. What I like to do is lift this back up, just kind of start this bolt, the bottom shock bolt, a couple threads, hold it. This way the swing arm's not all the way down. It makes it easier to, when you go to take the wheel out. Now, you got a spacer on this side, as well as your brake caliper bracket. Alright, now you're good to go. Let's jack it up. Give the bike a shake test. That thing's solid. Now, what you want to do is twist the tire like this out, and then it'll, out you go. Sometimes you might have to raise the bike up a little bit more, but woo, yeah, he needed a tire a long time ago. So this thing just kind of wiggles out. Now if you're taking your own wheels off, but you're taking them to a shop, it's best to take these out because they don't need it. They need it just as is right here. No spacers, no drive hub or cushions. So let's get this tire changed out and I'll show you how to put it back in. Alright guys, got the new tire on. Customer's wanting a Michelin Commander 2 180/65/16, which is the size for his bike. These have got to be the best cruiser tire out there. I've got them on my bike. I sell these more than anything else. These have got to be the best. So especially if you guys that are high mileage guys, this is a must have, these Commander tires. They've actually, I've heard guys getting 15,000+ miles on full touring bikes with passenger. loaded down on a back tire, 15 plus. You can only imagine what you get on that front tire. So now, as long as you run the proper air pressure, you got to be all right. Bearings felt good in this thing. I mean, it doesn't have too many miles on it, but still check. Kind of just tap this in. That's seated all the way. Now it's basically the reverse. Kind of hold the sprocket, slide it in, tilt it up, wiggle, away in. There you go. Now, let's go on this side, get the belt out of the way. Kind of lightly rest it on the side. Hold your wheel in place. Now, what I do is I slowly lower it. Try to, anyways. Jack can be picky, touchy at times. There we go. I kind of just lightly move the wheel around, and if it catches anything, I stop it. Reposition the tire. I'll grab out the rotor, it's getting tight up there. Just move the wheel around. Make sure it's not going to hang up. A little bit further. That should be pretty good. Now, what we do is, first things first. Clean off your axle. Then some gray anti-seize. Don't need a whole lot, just need a real thin coating. Thin coating. That's a thin coat, because if you blob it on there, it'll get scraped off as you slide it through, so don't need a whole lot. That'd be perfect right there. Make sure there's none on your hands, because this shit spreads. Clean that off real good. I already ripped my glove. All right. Gently set that down. Now, let's roll the wheel forward. Lift up the belt. Been over the drive hub. Now, take your washer. Good. See where that's going. Now we have to take your nut up. Take your bolt out of your swing arm so it lowers down. Get your axle ready. I got my finger underneath the washer. I get started in the washer, kind of use the axle to hold it. Oh, there's the wheel. Push down the exhaust because it was touching it a little bit. I'll slide it in until it's about past there. Don't want to go too far because we got to go to the other side. See, the axle's just barely about to come out. I don't know if you can see that. Take our caliper bracket. This little tab, this little slot goes on this ledge right here. Just kind of roll that in place. That's in. Now this spacer has some grooves cut in it. They face outward. And what you do is you can either roll the wheel back, lift this up, kind of get between the wheel. Yep, there it goes, between the wheel and the bracket. Now if you got a sensor, you do the same thing. Okay, can I get that lined up? I'm gonna lower the bike just a little bit. Get off, make sure I'm not close to the exhaust on the other side. That'll be good. What I'm gonna do is take my hammer. I'm gonna lightly tap on the axle while I hold the spacer in place. Oh, it's in the spacer. Make sure I'm not hitting this exhaust. Now let's go through. Oh. Alright, we're through the bracket. Now, I'm going to clock this where this is about flat. I'll just twist it in. Oh, I got lucky. Ta-da! Now let's go back to the other side. Alright. Get my brake caliper out the way. Brake pads on the low side, probably a quarter left. I'll tell the customer. I'll roll it back in. I like to get these bolts started. Ta-da. Then I'm gonna lower the bike so that clears. Now this only goes on one way. You'll be able to see the circle. See that circle right there? That's where the nut was riding up against, so that comes outward. And then there's a D slot right there. You'll see a flat spot on the axle. That slides right on like that. Take your cone nut. Get it started. And then now these torque specs might not be specific to your bike, refer to your bike, but to this bike I already know them, but it's to a lot of them. What you do is you torque down this axle nut to 20 pounds, 25 foot-pounds. Okay. Then since we took off the shock, what I like to do is raise it up to where I can bolt, just get that in. I got lucky that time, it went in pretty easy. And then just get the wheel off the ground. Okay? Now turn this. It's got, since this washer's cam and it's cammed on the other side, it's gonna evenly, and there's some blocks right here on the swing arm, it's evenly push the wheel back evenly so it's square with the bike, true with the bike, and then it's also gonna tension your belt. And the reason you put the 20 pounds in there is so the axle's not loose and, you know, spinning too freely. So I've been doing this a while, I can kind of tell by the feel. That feels right, but you need to spin the wheel. So now it's a little bit looser. That feels good right there. Now we go to 100 foot-pounds. We either do 95 to 105. 100 sounds good to me. Now it's best to get another 36 mil wrench. Hold this side, and then take your Oh, I'm gonna have to lower it back down. Damn, I forgot about that. Lower it back down. Get this bolt off. I got lucky again. There's just that sweet spot, so sometimes you gotta raise and lower it real easy. Find that sweet spot to get the tension off that bolt. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, take a 36 mil wrench, or if you got another socket, hold this side, you just hold in place. But this side is the side with the torque wrench. What you're doing is keeping the axle from spinning since you got your belt adjusted. Alright, we're good. 103, we're good. Now, going to raise this back up. There's that. Let's see if these nuts will start. I'm going to have to get a screwdriver. Sometimes you gotta get underneath these bolts, hold them up, get these nuts on. There's one. Can't get the second one. Oh, probably come from this side. There's two. There we go. Man, the reason I do it this way because sometimes that bolt, the exhaust clamp down there, yeah, they'll come loose. But this exhaust is a pain sometimes to come out. Alright. Those are torqued. I forget how much those are torqued by, but I can tell by feel, but that was not all too critical. Next, since we have our axle torqued, we're going to take our E-clip. There's a groove on the axle, on the end of the axle. Snap that on, make sure it'll spin, but it's engaged. Okay. So I have come out to some bikes, there's just about less than a handful where this nut was loose. So, like finger loose. Raise your bike up, feel it pop in. Get this one started before you tighten it up. See if this one will start. So I got lucky. Sometimes this side wants to start first before you put that side in. Sometimes you gotta lift and raise the bike to get that sweet spot. So this bike's being, I like this bike. This bike's how I want every bike to be. So next, we're gonna just thread these down real quick, and then grab with our 8mm Allen, and then take our 19mm. Just gonna run those down, run that down, and then come on. If I remember right, these are 65 foot-pounds, the shock bolts, or struts, or what do you want? Oh, not 85. $65 foot-pounds. These bolts are. Now there's some of them that I go to torque down and it feels like it's about to strip on me, so I just kind of stop. These ones don't. So just because it says torque it to a certain spec doesn't mean to keep going until it says it, until it reaches it. Because If that bolt's about to strip, it ain't gonna reach it. Like this one almost felt like it for a second there. Alright. Next would be our 8mm Allen. We're going down to 45. Okay, now sometimes there's if you got the sensor, there'll be a clip right here to kind of clip the sensor wire to the brake line there. Now, raise it up. It's off the ground, make sure she spins. Brake pads will rub a little bit, especially after you pump up the brakes. Spin it, brake, spin it, brake, we're good. Now, let's do a once over. Torqued, clipped. These are torqued. Brake pads are pumped up. These are locked down. That's been torqued. Just check the brake belt one more time. We're good. Alright, now we'll just put the saddlebags back on. Everybody knows how to do this, so plus I gotta put zip ties on the cable for the other side, so alright. Oh, well, there you go, guys. 2015 Road King rear tire removal and install, and wasn't too bad. This is probably one of the smoother ones. Actually, I'm thinking if I'm not gonna edit most of this video, except especially when parts taking the wheel off and on. But I could probably say I did this in less than 10 minutes or less. I have to time it. And if I did, that's what the title will be. So how to remove and install a Harley wheel in 10 minutes or less. Now, it might not happen on your first, second, or even third try. But eventually, if you do it enough, you will. I've done hundreds of these. So I already know what tools to grab. So what sizes, the torque specs, obviously you can tell I memorized them already, even for the front wheel. So yeah, so I'm going to edit this video and we'll see if I can do this in 10 minutes or less. But with that, make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like the video, comment down below, and subscribe for more.